I applaud Congressman Todd Young, a distinguished member of the Ways and Means Committee, for his work on this legislation. It's time to vote in support of Americans who are facing higher bills and smaller paychecks, and I urge my colleagues to join me in a yes vote. And I would yield the balance of my time to Mr. Young from Indiana.
Without objection. Without objection. Gentleman from Indiana is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker. As the Senate continues to push for a 25% increase in the federal minimum wage, they continue to ignore that millions of hourly workers face as much as a 25% pay cut as a result of Obamacare. Because of the 30 hours as full-time provision buried in the employer mandate, many employees face the prospect of being limited in their work hours. When they aren't allowed to work more than 29 hours, they simply aren't able to generate the income they need to support themselves and their families. It's worth noting that an employee who sees their hours cut from 39 to 29 is losing 10 hours a week, which over the course of a month is an entire week's worth of wages. The employees we're talking about are the people who most depend on getting every hour and every bit of wages that they can. We're talking about custodians, cafeteria workers, and substitute teachers at your child's school. We're talking about the waitresses and busboys at your favorite restaurant, the cashier who rings you out at the grocery store back in your district, and the guys on the assembly line who help make your car. In my district, we're also talking about adjunct professors at places like Ivy Tech Community College and Indiana University. These are all Americans who want to work, but they're dealing with the unintended consequences, and I do believe they're unintended, of this health care law, Obamacare. Some of these provisions are limiting their hours and pay, and this needs to be fixed. So I introduced the Save American Workers Act because I want to help these hardworking Hoosiers and other Americans who are just trying to make ends meet. By simply repealing this provision and restoring the traditional 40-hour work week, we can help make an America that works. Now, I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this bill. I commend my colleagues on the other side who have already signed on as co-sponsors, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Indiana reserves.